Welcome everyone. Statement of comprehensive income or profit and loss account. We talk about the structure, revenue minus cost of sales and gross profit. And then you're going to the minus operating expenses, then you get the operating profit. And from operating profit, we deducted the financial expense, then we got the profit for the year or net income. So and also we talk about the main importance of making comprehensive income statement. For example, we talk about the income statement involve the decision making, like investment decisions, how people make investment decisions by based on the income statement. How do the cost analysis? You can actually go through the costing part, the operational expenses, and also financial expenses and everything, marketing, administration. Then you can find out whether what are the areas you have to increase, what are the areas you have to mainly decrease, especially revenue side. What are the revenue side that you can other incomes or sales revenue, year-on-year analysis. So for the cost analysis, especially, it is important to actually have a statement of comprehensive income. And also talk about this, provide the basis for future forecasting, provide the basis for future forecasting as well. Because if you are providing this business organization the financial performance, you can, for future forecasting, for example, sales forecasting, it can be the cash flow forecasting, some future budgeting processes. This financial statement will be provide some basis, because this goes to historical figures. That's why this preparation of the financial statements are important. And finally, to make comparisons. You can make comparison with a similar kind of nature of business. If it's a hotel, you can make a comparison with another similar hotel. If it's a manufacturing business with another manufacturing business, if it's a bank with another bank, like that, we can make some comparisons by using the financial statements. And moreover, we talk about the nature and importance of profit. Profit is important because to make the decisions, normally the business organizations are making the importance, especially investors, different stakeholders, entrepreneurs, they need profit. Managers, they need expecting the profit because they get more salaries. Employees expecting good profit for the company because their job security, and their jobs, the salaries, the job security, the performance, promotions, everything actually based on that. Like that, we talk about these things, right? So I'll show you one of the like a past paper questions which came from this section. This is first of all, we'll move on to the 2019 June paper. 2019 June paper 1. It's a regional paper. So 2019 June paper. This is question number came to the IGCSE 2019 June paper 1, regional paper, question number 3, part D, 6-mark question. Analyze how the statement of comprehensive income can be used by Lavender when considering its expansion. Analyze how the statement of comprehensive income can be used by Lavender when considering its expansion. Now, in this question, they have given some like information about the Lavender. So this is the you can see their revenue, right? The statement of comprehensive income, some kind of a, they are given income statement, some extract they have given for the business organization. You can see the revenue, cost of sale, gross profit, and gross profit margin. The comparison also they are giving. The Lavender have their actually the 3 restaurants, their bakery, El Cafe, and El Bistro, like that. The case study like this Malaysian restaurant chain called Lavender. So this bakery thing, they're asking the question number 3 parts. They're asking they analyze the how statement of comprehensive income can be used by Lavender when considering expansion. Right now, this they're asking one advantage, like 2 advantages. They're asking how this comprehensive income statement can be used by the Lavender when considering its expansion. Okay, I'll show you the marking scheme for this. This is 2019 June paper 1, regional paper, question number 3, part D, 6-mark question. So here they're saying the analysis question normally, application 3 marks and analysis 3 marks. So main application point from the case study means they say Lavender are able to see if they have enough money to expand into other parts of Malaysia. Lavender are able to see if they have enough money to expand into other parts of Malaysia. And as Lavender wants to expand, they need to take into account other factors such as overheads and outgoings, as these may be higher, so that the net profit may be low and they will not have enough money to expand. Sometimes that's why. So look at the thing they are saying. Lavender are able to see if they have enough money to expand in other parts of, already they have 3 restaurants in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, and they want to expand to other parts of the Malaysia. Investors can see they have enough money right? Look at the analysis point. As Lavender want to expand, if you want to expand, they need to take into account other factors such as overheads and outgoings. Outgoings being expenses, as these may be higher, so the net profit figure may be low. So analysts can see if the expense is higher, therefore net profit will be low, and they will not have enough money to expand. Look at the second point. Moreover, Lavender can use this figure to show investors how successful they are as a business and are capable of expanding. So for themselves, they can find out, like they can do some test whether they have enough money for expansion, and also they can attract investors. They can show them that, see, for investors, that this business is successful, capable of expanding. Look at the analysis point. Lavender also need to consider other factors such as the location of competition in the area they are looking to expand in, and if they can survive as a new business entering the area, or comparing the figures to last year figures, so to see if they have performed better or worse. So how investors are looking forward this thing, so they can show investors how successful they are and they are capable of expanding. Look at the analysis point. In this case, Lavender also need to consider factors such as the location of the competition, location of the area, and also then investors also can compare the results with the other results of the following years, right? And the last year figures to see which they have performed better or worse. Like that, this is how financial statement of comprehensive income related question, which came from 2019 June paper 1 regional paper. Right. So I just recap the thing. For example, we discussed this. You can see the now is advantages. You can see the question they're asking 6-mark question like that. What are the main benefits of income statement? So you can make investment decision, cost analyzing, basis for the future forecasting, and making comparison. Okay, I've got another second question. You can see this is I'm taking from 2020 November. 2020 November, paper 1, regional paper. That's also same question. Question number 3, part D. Asking, analyze how useful the information in figure 2 to Loaf. Loaf is another bakery operated by Tom. Figure 2, this is the figure 2. This is figure 2. They are giving revenue, gross profit, other operating expenses, right? So they are asking to calculate the operating profit margin, right? So operating profit margin, right? With that lesson we are going to do in next session. You can see the financial statement interpretation. But asking my question is asking how this figure 2, revenue, gross profit, operating expense, if you deduct operating expense, you can see the operating profit you can obtain, right? Okay, they're asking how this information in figure 2 is useful. Analyze how the useful of this information to Loaf, figure 2, right? So when you're like this kind of a 6-mark question, they're asking another advantage of information, advantage of statement of financial, in the statement of comprehensive income, SOCI. So like a similar question in 2019, right? In different way, they are giving the figures. They ask these figures are important, how these figures are important for them, right? So I'll show you the market scheme. Also 2020 November, paper 1, regional paper, question number 3, part D, 6-mark question. There's an application. Loaf can see how the business is performing and can calculate the operating profit margin, which is 20%. Right, by looking at so figures are normally, what are the figures they have given? They are given sales revenue, gross profit, and operating expenses. So they can calculate the operating profit margin when they can find out whether business is performing. They can calculate the operating profit margin of 20%. So other calculations can be made and could allow Loaf to take action if performance has deteriorated. They can do other calculations as well, like gross profit margin, right, operating profit margin, and other calculations can be made and could allow Loaf is a business, is a bakery, can take action if performance has deteriorated or go down. They can take actions. If performance is bad, they can take action. Where we went wrong? What are things? What are the strategies to increase our performance? Like that. And secondly, they say Loaf can use this information to compare itself to other bakeries or cooking school. Look at the application. So this is the thing in today. I told you the main advantage of SOCI is making comparisons. Making comparisons is generic point. Making comparisons is possible. But look at the mark schemes. They mention this is the bakery and hotel school, so they can make comparison. Loaf can use information to compare itself to other bakeries or cooking schools. As a result, you can see this will enable Loaf to judge its performance against its competitors, giving an indication of how well the business is doing. That is how you have to write, right? If you just write, then they can make comparison, they can analyze they can measure their performance, right? If you mention just a generic point, only 3 marks. But this is a hotel, school, and bakery, you have to apply like that. Numbers you can give in application, like 20% performance, profit margin, right? They can compare itself with other bakeries and cooking school. This is application. As a result, they can find out, this will enable Loaf to judge its performance, judge their performance against competitors, and giving an indication how well the business is doing, right? You can see how there are like that past papers are there. This is like a 2 6-mark question I explained from 2019 June, paper 1, and 2020 June, 2020 November, paper 1, regional papers, right? Let's move on to the other questions in the textbook. We can see the MCQ questions. Even small business or large business, this is important. Significant number of small businesses such as sole traders may not produce a formal statement of comprehensive income, right? They may pay an accountant to calculate the amount of taxable income for the year. They may use this measure of performance and work out how much tax need to be paid. That's why sole traders, how they do. They hire some temporary part-time accountant, and they told him to, okay, calculate these are the figures, calculate the taxable profit, and then let me know how much tax you have to pay. However, limited company, it's a must. Limited companies in most countries are required to, by law, to produce a set of accounts, which includes a statement of comprehensive income. And business owners and managers are likely use the statement of for the purpose of described above. It's a mandatory for limited companies, but sole traders, partnership, it is not mandatory, but they voluntarily they're preparing in order to find out their performance. Okay, let's move on to some MCQ questions. Question number one, wages paid to production workers is an example of which of the following? Wages paid to production workers is an example of which of the following? You can send the answer to chat line. Wages paid to production workers. Here, number 1, current assets. Number 2, B, finance cost. Number C, part C, business expenses. Part D, cost of sales. Yes, I got couple of answers. Very good. Yes, wages paid to production workers goes under cost of sales, production workers, because production cost always direct cost. It always goes to the cost of sales. Okay, question number 2, a business has a revenue. Of US dollar 239,500 and the cost of sale of 154,000. Expenses of 65,000 US dollars. Therefore, what is the value of operating profit? Operating profit we calculate by revenue minus cost of sale, and we get gross profit. Gross profit minus expenses, we call the operating profit. So the answer comes, yes, I got couple of answers. Yes, answer is A, 20,500. Right. Question number 3, the statement of comprehensive income might be used to do which of the following? Statement of comprehensive income might be used to do which of the following? A, right, calculate the labor turnover. B, help make investment decisions. Pretty good answer. Part C, measure the value of assets in a business. No. Calculate the liquidity ratio. No, I think the answer is here. B is the correct answer. Question number 3. B, statement of comprehensive income might be used to help to make our investment decisions. Okay, the last MCQ. Which of the following is a function of profit? A, a measure of global economic success. B, used to calculate break-even point. C, measure of business performance. Measure of labor productivity. Yes, I got correct answers of Ammar. Correct. C is the correct answer. Measure of business performance. Right. Very good. So let's move on to the chapter review question. There's a nice question called Rolls-Royce. At the business, the main premier vehicle manufacturing company. So again, this chapter review question. Rolls-Royce is a global specialist in supply of power and propulsion solutions. Rolls-Royce design, develop, manufacture, and service integrated power system for use in the air, on land, and at sea. Right, so you can see there are not only vehicles. You can see there are Rolls-Royce jet engines, plane engines, right? Submarines, different engines, propulsion systems they are making. They are specializing on engines, right? And it builds some of the world's most efficient aero engines, eco-friendly ships, power nuclear submarines, and enable land speed records, right? So this is their product portfolio. So they have I think, who knows that thing, right? They produce. Also, a lot of people thinking only vehicles, cars. No, they are everywhere. They in land, on sea, air, everything, right? So table 29.4 shows the extract from the statement of comprehensive income for 2015. 14 figures are they given. The figures are taxation, figures for taxation and the gross profit in 2015 are missing. Right, so you can see the missing figures also there. Here we go. Revenue, you can see 13,736. Here's 13,725. Little bit going down slightly. Cost of sale gone down 10,533 to 10,459. So gross profit element, we can find out the difference between revenue and cost of sale. That's missing. Operating income is stable, 10. It's millions, right? All pound millions. And then administrative expenses, you can see going down 1,124 to 1,059. Research and development costs increase 793 to 818 million. Income from the joint ventures increased 94 to 100. So operating profit, what happened? Improve 1,390 to 1,499. Right? Look at the adjustments. They say the finance cost, right? Two adjustments they have done, and the finance cost 1,452 to 1,456 increased slightly. Finance income decreased 121 to 115 million. The profit for the year of the business increased. Look at the profit for the year, 67 million to 160 million. They have increased. Taxation figure is missing, but we can find profit for the year after taxation. 2014, this was a minus figure, right? Because huge taxation is there. But this year, it was a positive figure, which is taxation. We can find out it's almost like 70 something. Okay, they're asking questions. 5 questions are here. What does a statement of comprehensive income show? Right, so it shows income and expenses. Like generally, we'll see what is the correct answer. And they're asking work out the taxation and the taxation and gross profit for the 2015. So that's the easy question. Now we're finding the missing figures. Taxation here, the difference 160 minus 84, right? We can get the difference in taxation, and gross profit, we can take the difference between revenue minus cost of sale. That difference is easy 2-mark question. What is meant by operating profit? Operating profit definition they ask here. Operating profit meaning, right? The operating profit mean the difference between gross profit and the operating expenses. What is the meaning of that? And describe 2 ways. I would like to say this is an analyze question, 6-marker. Describe 2 ways which statement of comprehensive income might be used by business like Rolls-Royce, like 2 advantages. We'll see what is the question. And the final question is a 12-marker. Assess the performance of Rolls-Royce over the years. Assess the performance of the Rolls-Royce over the 2 years. Make a clear judgment in your evaluation. Okay, let's see what are the answers they are providing. For Rolls-Royce question. Right, question number 1. Question number 1, you can see they're asking, what does the statement of comprehensive income show? Business use the statement of comprehensive income to calculate the profit at the end of the financial year. Business use the statement of comprehensive income to calculate the profit at the end of the financial year. In this case, the profit made by Rolls-Royce at the end of 2015 was 84 million pounds, right? That's how they show, is preparing a statement to show the profit for the year. And at the end of 2015, their profit was 84 million pounds. So work out the taxation and gross profit. The taxation differs, as I told you, 160 minus 84, that is 76 million taxation in 2015 they have paid to the UK government. And gross profit, the difference between revenue and cost of sale. The gross profit is they have earned 3.2 billion, it is 3,266 million pounds. What is meant by operating profit? Like definition, operating profit is the profit made by business after all business costs and expenses have been subtracted right? Except the finance cost, you can see not all expenses, because if you deduct all expenses, that call not profit, operating profit, they call profit for the year. So to say, after deducting expenses other than or except finance cost, it can be calculated by subtracting expenses from gross profit. It can be calculated by subtracting expenses from gross profit. In this case, the operating profit for Rolls-Royce is 1,499 million, 1.4 billion. Right. Look at the next question. I say this is a 6-mark question, analyze question. Describe 2 ways in which statement of comprehensive income might be used by the business like Rolls-Royce. Okay. I would like to invite Rahma. Can you read this answer? Question number 4. Okay. Yeah. Can you read this answer, Saranya? Right. Saranya, can you read this answer? This question is a 6-mark question. Normally, this case normally a command word must be changed, because normally in our syllabus normally there is no command word for describe. There's a command word for analyze question, right? There's a command word for analyze question. So this should be analyzed 2 ways in which statement of comprehensive income might be used by business like Rolls-Royce. Okay, Adil, can you read this question? Answer.
So what should I read?
Fourth one.
Describe 2 ways in which the statement of comprehensive income might be used by business like Rolls-Royce. So should I read the answers?
Yeah.
The statement of comprehensive income shows business owners and managers the amount of profit made by a business in a financial year. However, the information contained in the statement might be used to help make some important decisions. For example, a business might use the statement of comprehensive income to decide how much money to invest in the business. For example, if the statement shows that profits are rising, this might encourage decision makers to use more funds for investment. In contrast, if the statement shows that the business is struggling, investment plans might be postponed in the hope that the business will pick up in the future. The statement of comprehensive income will show a business that what has happened to costs during the year. It might show, for example, that the cost of sales has increased sharply. As a result, a business can identify reasons for this and take measures to bring costs under control. The business might decide that cheaper supplies of raw materials must be found, or that the wages of production workers must be brought under control. For example, in this case, Rolls-Royce has managed to reduce its administrative costs from 1,124 million in 2014 to 1,059 million in 2015. The business may have analyzed costs in 2014 to see if there were certain costs that could be reduced.
Okay, thank you very much. So this is the way that how you are when you're writing an answer, look at the application level of application in this answer. To talk about the Rolls-Royce, mainly the main 2 points they say. First point they're mentioning that help to make some important decision. For example, they can use the SOCI to decide how much money invested in the business. For example, if the statement show profit are rising, this might encourage decision makers to use more funds for investment. Right? In contrast, statement shows the business is struggling. An investment plan must be postponed in hope that the business will pick up in the near future. So this is what they mentioned the first point, investment decisions. Investment decision, they can pick, they say they postpone. Sometimes decision can be postponed by looking at the financial statement. So always it's like for a doctor, it's like a medical checkup. So investment, the assessment of comprehensive income looks like a report. It's like before you prescribe some medicine, before the doctors may take any further actions, they are taking all the precautions, all that, test reports, everything, they analyze it like that. For accountant, for investors, these are like our test results. So performance results, that's why business organization, that's why it's like a blood report of the business organization. And all the symptoms we can identify if the business is doing good, it's a great health, right? And then it's a big business is in a big trouble, they're in a huge financial problem, like that, everything performance indicator we can find. Therefore, investment decision making is very easy. Whether we can quickly make the decision or whether we had to postpone the decision, everything is based on the performance income statement. Look at the second one. The statement of comprehensive income will show business that happened the cost during the year. So cost controlling. So cost controlling of this is very helpful. Like when the cost increase, sales increase sharply. As a result, business can identify the reasons why this happened and they can take measures to bring cost under control. Cost under control, the cost controlling mechanism. So like that. So they are giving the example. Look at the example from the case study. They are giving, for example, in this case, the Rolls-Royce managed to reduce the administrative cost from 1,124 million, right, to 1,059. So 1.1 billion to 1 billion. So it's like there's a considerable amount of millions of pounds. Cost saving is there during these 2 years, and business may have analyzed the cost in 2014 to see if there was a certain cost to be reduced like that. So what are the 2 points they are mentioning here? Usefulness of they can take the investment decision and cost analysis decisions. Right. The last question, the fifth question from the Rolls-Royce case study, they're asking. You can see they're asking, assess the performance of Rolls-Royce over the 2 years. Make a clear judgment in your evaluation. It's a 12-mark question. By giving this kind of a table, sometimes we can ask what is the assess the performance of the business. So performance-wise, I think bottom line, if you look at the bottom line of the business, it's actually going to positive to negative momentum, right? It's a huge growth, but revenue-wise, slightly there's a going down, but gross profit they have improved. You can see the operating profit they have improved, and the profit for the year also improved. We have to find out what is the main reason behind this thing. I think their cost controlling mechanism, or what is there? Is there another like tax benefits or something, right? So this question is a 12-mark question. When you are, this is the first time you are learning this kind of a question, how to evaluate this kind of a situation, performance of a company. We'll see the marking scheme, what they mention about this is a performance of the business organization in the Rolls-Royce. Okay, question number 5, here we go. Assess the performance of the Rolls-Royce over the 2 years. Make a clear judgment in your evaluation, right? Okay, I would like to invite, okay, TJ, can you read the answer, please? Question number 5, yeah, bottom line.
The bottom line shows that Rolls-Royce has moved from a loss-making position in 2014 to a profit-making position in 2015. In 2014, the business made a loss of £84 million. However, in 2015, it made a profit of £84 million. This is a positive development over the time period. However, the size of profit in relation to revenue is quite small. Its profit for the year in 2015 is only 0.6% of the company's revenue.
Okay, now this paragraph is mainly talking about the movements of the numbers. Number this year to this year, right? Their financial position. They made a loss 84 in 2014, and in 2015, however, they made a profit of 84 million, positive figure. This is a positive development of the time period. However, the size of profit in relation to the revenue is quite small. That's a profit margin. It's like in profits for the 2015 is only 0.6% of the company's revenue. Like that, they are giving some kind of even good and bad limitation. Okay, TJ can continue. Over the 2 years.
Over the 2 years, revenue was fairly stable at around £13,700 million. That was just a slight drop in 2015. This shows that Rolls-Royce is getting plenty of orders and has enjoyed a solid year's trading. However, the company may be disappointed in its profitability. With such a high revenue, many would argue that it should make more profit. One of the reasons why profitability is low is because of the high costs of financing. In both 2014 and 2015, financing costs are over £1,400 million. This shows that Rolls-Royce has a lot of debt. It is possible that the business is borrowing to invest heavily for the future. There is some evidence of this in the statement of comprehensive income. The statement shows that research and development costs were 818 million pounds in 2015 and 793 million pounds in 2014. This is a large sum and suggests that Rolls-Royce is committed to research and new product development. Sometimes research and development expenditure takes time to bear fruit. Shareholders in Rolls-Royce will hope that much higher profits are generated in the future as a result of this investment. Finally, one of the reasons why Rolls-Royce made a loss in 2014 was because of a relative high tax charge. It was about double the size of the tax paid in 2015.
Okay, thank you very much. So this is a very good evaluation. They're mentioning very important points, the insights of the business we can find out by looking at the two figures. They are saying the revenue was fairly stable around 1,313.7 billion, but there was a slightly drop in 15. The slightly drop, small drop you can see, and shows that Rolls-Royce is getting plenty of orders, right? So I'll show you the. So when you're reading, you can see you can go to the financial statement here, right? You can see this is what happened here. So revenue slightly drop. Revenue, you can see there is a slight drop in the revenue, right? Here you can see over the years revenue fairly stable around 13,700. You can see there was a slight drop in 2015, and this shows that the Rolls-Royce is getting plenty of orders and enjoy a solid year trading. However, the company may be disappointed in profitability. Why? With such a high revenue, many would argue that it should make a more profit, but look at the profitability very low. Sometimes they are justifying one of the main reasons for this why profitability is low because of the high cost of financing. Right, look at the financial expenses in both 2014 and 15. Financing costs are over 1,400 million. Financing costs are over 1,400 million. You can see here the finance cost here 2014 also 1,452. Here 1,456. Imagine this much of financial expense means they have a lot of debts, bank loans, or other financial obligations. They are paying the servicing financial expenses. Imagine the business has in a deep financial trouble. They have taken so much of bank loans. You can see here by looking at these two figures, 1,452 million, 1,556 million. So that's increasing, progress is there. And also they're not only that, the research and development, right? So it's possible that they are borrowing to invest heavily in the future. And there's some evidence in the case study. You can see research and development, R&D cost were 818 million in 2015 and 793 million in 2014. That increasing for 700 to 800 level. This is a large sum, suggested that the Rolls-Royce is committed to research and development. They are committed to the R&D. And sometimes R&D expenditures take some time to bear the fruit because it's same, it takes some time because you can't take quick results, it will take some time, which means shareholders of Rolls-Royce will hope that it might have higher profits and generated in the future as a result of this investment. And finally, one of the reasons Rolls-Royce made a loss in 2014, you can see, because of the relatively high tax charge. It was about double the size of the tax paid in 2015. You can see here by looking at these numbers, we can figure out, we can evidence that the even taxation also higher. That's why this happened. In 2014 they make a loss, in 2015 taxable revenue gone down, and then taxation gone down, meaning profit increase. So it's a good insight. You can see revenue stable, but however the administration, their cost controlling is okay. Administration also gone down, but main problem here with their financial expenses. Finance cost is very high. That's why they are making such a small profit. There's a lot of people thinking if they have this much of revenue, 13 billion pounds, why they are earning such a small 84 million profit, right? If they have such a big income, why they are reducing, why they have expenses so much, right? 13 billion to 13,000 to, at the end they are giving a tiny profit of 84 million. Why is that? That's the reason they justify here this case study. Really good case study, Rolls-Royce. I think the figures and everything are very clear, right? So that's the main importance of the financial statement. You can see here from these questions, right? So here today we discuss about the mainly financial statement, comprehensive income statement. What are the usefulness of this thing? Making investment decisions, making cost decisions, cost analysis, and it's the right basis for future forecast, and making comparisons. And also I show you some kind of a past paper question, 2019 past paper and 2020 past paper questions based on here. 2019 past paper question came from the Analyze the statement of comprehensive income, how that can be used by Lavender. when considering an expansion. So I told you that Lavender also can use this information to get their financial, performance they can analyze, and also make the investment decisions and everything they can figure out from that using this financial statement. And also in 2026 market question, they asked what are the two benefits of comprehensive income statement for that company. And in 2019 also, they have a similar question. They asked in 2020 paper, there was another question, analyze the usefulness of information figure to Loaf, the bakery and hotel school. They're giving this figure. It's only just to extract from the statement of comprehensive income, giving only revenue, gross profit, operating expenses. And they're asking how this is useful for them. So they also, I think we gave the answer. This is useful for them to analyze their own performance, and also they can analyze, they compare for comparison purpose with the other similar bakeries. So, and after we go to the chapter review case study, we go to the Rolls-Royce case study. There nice five questions we discussed with the MCQs. We talk about the benefit of this preparation, and also we talk about finally the evaluation question about the assess the performance of the Rolls-Royce over the 2 years with the clear judgment, like a 12-mark question. Okay, that's the end of the day. So see you next section in my lesson SOFP, statement of financial position. Okay, from that I'm going to wind up my today's session. Thank you very much.